I am very disappointed, but I'm also just a bit upset.
So, the there is a director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima coming out, and I just want to say, first of all, it looks amazing. Like a new expansion, new island, all these different things included for like $30 upgrade from PS4 to PS5, which I have the PS4 copy and I also have a PS5, so it's only $30 to upgrade with all these different things inside of it. Like that's an amazing steal, right? And then it's only like $20, I believe, for PS4 owners to get the PS4 version of Director's Cut. Like that's an amazing steal, right? But then we have people like this, Dreamcast guy, who are bitching about a $30 expansion. Like, we'll go over his video in a bit, and I want to say before I start this video and I start blurting out like he's an idiot or something, like I generally like this dude, but he's going a little bit too hard on that pro-consumer stance a lot of gaming news YouTubers have. Like, not, like, I'll just play and go over it. Okay, we'll skip this.
Disappointed, but I'm also just a bit upset because of the newest news that came out from PlayStation just about an hour ago, which is the fact that the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut that's been rumored and leaked and talked about, it turns out that it's real, but it has some attached controversy to it. They've decided to make it, in my opinion, pretty overpriced for the package you're getting.
What? It's not overpriced. You're getting a brand new island, all these different features, brand new techniques, I believe. All these different things are being included in this director's cut for $20 on PS4 and $30 on PS5. If you're upgrading, I believe it's like $70 if you're buying the game fresh as a director's cut on the PS5, which is an amazing deal, honestly, considering what's been included in it and everything. But let's continue.
But let's try and explain why this is just something that seemingly sucks, even if the game itself is going to be great.
Okay.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here, and let me just say right up front, I love Ghost of Tsushima. In fact, it was my game of the year last year.
Okay, this part I agree with because he basically goes on to talk about how it's a really good game, and it was personally my game of the year too. I really, really enjoyed it, but let's continue to the part where I disagree with.
Yes, but I was curious about all the new stuff that's being added in, which is surprisingly a completely new island, which seems pretty fantastic.
Look at this. By the way, we'll have 10 more share about Iki Island soon, but today we confirmed that there's a whole new story, new characters, new island, features tons of new content, brand new environments, new armor, as well for the horse, by the way, mini games, techniques, new enemy types, and much more. This is worth $30, and even new animals to pet. This is worth $30. Very likely gonna be like maybe like a Blood and Wine kind of situation where it's like $30 for what is essentially possibly could be considered a sequel. Like, it's it will very likely be that kind of scenario, but for some reason, let's just watch and see him try to justify whining about it.
Some traumatic moments of his past, it's a good chance to go back and basically chop up even more fellow samurai. That's fantastic.
It is.
You know what? Enough foreplay. Let me show you the controversy. Let's actually look at why the internet is downright mad. So we are scrolling back.
Unjustifiably, by the way.
Stuff. Once I got to this part here, this is the part of the PlayStation blog where I started to notice that something was off. This is strange to me. They're doing a completely separate release. They're basically treating Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut as a totally different game. Like, look at all this extra content. Now, they're selling it's a PlayStation 5 physical release. They're doing a new freaking release on PlayStation 4 on a disc of the Director's Cut. But I was curious about the cost. Pre-orders and upgrades. Ghost of Tsushima will launch for $70 on PlayStation 5. Or, sorry, no, that's PS4. Yeah, so $60 on PS4, $70 on PlayStation 5.
Completely justified, by the way, considering it probably costs more to make it for the PS5 due to how more advanced it is and stuff, right? Like, that's understandable. Plus, you're getting all this content and everything, which is, if you're buying the game for the first time for like $70, is more than worth the price point, in my opinion. Being someone who played through the entire game and played the multiplayer expansion, which is really fun, by the way.
That's just the pre-orders. So let's take a look at people like you and me. People who have already purchased the game, we've installed it, we've played it, we've beat it. Well, what is it going to cost to experience this new expansion? Well, here we get into that. If you already own the PlayStation 4 version of Ghost of Tsushima, you can upgrade to the Director's Cut for $20.
That's completely fine. What the fuck? Why does he say it in a bad way? We'll see.
$20 for this extra content, which...
Yeah. It's a fucking expansion. With the brand new island and all those things listed before, what do you fucking expect? You expect to just give all this shit away for free? They already gave us a multiplayer mode for free. That probably costs a lot of money to keep those servers up, by the way, so... What's wrong with charging a little bit extra for what's going to probably be like a Blood and Wine kind of expansion? What is the problem with that? Like, these people didn't complain when CD Projekt Red did it with the Blood and Wine. They released a shit ton of free content for Witcher 3, but they didn't complain about Blood and Wine being like $30, I believe, and then what's that? Heart and Stone, I believe, which was like $20. Like, why are they bitching about this but not that? I don't get it. Let's just watch.
Which, keep in mind, is probably going to be a couple extra maps to the multiplayer. It's stuff like lip syncing. Yes, that's actually a feature that they're advertising in this.
That's good. People complained about that a lot when it originally came out, and that's a really good thing. I think when I replay the game, inevitably, I'm going to do the Japanese cut, because for some reason, Japanese people are just really good at voice acting compared to American voice actors.
But here's the other thing. If you want to actually get it, from the PlayStation 4 version to the PlayStation 5 version is $30. So if you've already upgraded it on PlayStation 4, you can jump to PlayStation 5 for $10. But if you want to go from the original Ghost of Tsushima, the PlayStation 4 version, to the Director's Cut on PS5, it is $30.
Okay.
You know, I am frustrated by this. And I say this as a fan, and I'm not trying to come off like a hater. But my thought is this.
You know, I wouldn't say it comes off as a hater, but just more someone with that entitled gamer mentality who thinks everything should be fucking free. You paid $60 for the base game, and everything after that should be fucking free. Is he not aware that this shit costs money to make? Like, of course, some companies can do free upgrades and stuff, right? But they're not companies that are keeping up a big old multiplayer server that's probably still pretty active, right? They're not keeping that stuff up like Ghost of Tsushima has to, so... Like, what the fuck kind of mentality is this? Like, seriously.
Look at the actual content they're advertising here. Let's look at these actual things. Like, okay, these screenshots... absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This seems super great. Captured on a PlayStation 5. These are staggering graphics, beautiful smoke, weaving waves of grain, or whatever the hell. But here's my thought. Look at these features. This is coming to PS4 and PS5, but you know what? The content's going to be optimized. It's going to be better on PlayStation 5.
True.
We've heard your feedback. We're going to be making Japanese lip syncing. We're also going to be doing things like haptic feedback and 3D audio, drastically improved load times, 4K resolution. Okay, that's all nice, but is that $30 nice? I'm a big fan of vote with your wallet, and I feel like...
I would say so, considering everything else you're getting. It probably costs a lot of money to upgrade all this stuff, including the multiplayer, including the entire game. All this stuff probably costs some money to do. So I think $30 is probably justified in this case, at least.
Vote with your wallet. It's a two-way street. It's good and it's bad. If you truly love something, you buy it and you support its existence. Now,
yeah,
actually
definitely.
Just right now, I'm going to grab something off my shelf because
Okay, let's skip this part. It's just him talking about a game.
I think you should support good art. But stuff like this, it makes me feel just a bit conflicted because as much as I love Sucker Punch and as much as I love Ghost of Tsushima, This feels like a crazy markup. For somebody like me who purchased this game originally back on launch day for $60 on the PlayStation 4 and loved it, now paying this $30 upgrade cost, that means I'm going to be paying a total of $90 to play this game.
Dude, come on. Fucking Judgment, another game I love, by the way, the spin-off of Yakuza, was $40 to upgrade. And not only that, it was the exact same game, just with slightly better graphics and a slightly higher frame rate for Judgment for $40. And you couldn't even carry over your saves from the PS4 version, which is why I skipped it. Like, dude, where's the video on that? I don't think he ever made a video on that. That is what I call a ripoff. $40 for the exact same game with no new content, just slightly better graphics, slightly better load times, and better 60 frames per second. That is a ripoff. This is not a ripoff. Like, come the hell on. These people do not understand, like, what an actual ripoff looks like, especially when you're just ignoring something like the Judgment upgrade compared to this. Like, come on.
Like, entirety expansions. Like, I'm frustrated by that because it feels like it's trying to screw over the fans that purchased this day one.
Again, Judgment did that a lot worse than Ghost of Tsushima, and I did not see any video on that.
Like, at this point, I might actually just buy the physical edition of PlayStation 5, because why the hell not? Like, why not at least get a box or a box art? But I feel like they're also trying to just take advantage of people like...
Dude! They released a fucking online multiplayer version, online multiplayer mode for free. How are they taking advantage of you? They need to keep this stuff up with some sort of income somehow. Like, come on. This stuff costs like millions of dollars to do. They need to get money from somewhere. Like, they were inevitably they were gonna have to make some sort of like income, and we're just lucky they're not doing it through like cosmetics. Otherwise, he'd probably be bitching a lot more if there were cosmetic microtransactions and shit. But like, dude, serious. I'm just at a loss for words, because it's like, on one hand, yeah, it's nice to get free stuff, but on the other hand, you got to be realistic and realize this stuff does cost money to make, and they can't just keep upgrading this game for like forever for free. Not everything will be given to us for free. Inevitably, they will charge us, and this is the inevitable outcome of doing all those things for free, of releasing online multiplayer for free, by the way. Like, does he forget that Sucker Punch did all of this and just only focusing on this? Like, come on.
Me. It's weird that they're not making this $5 or $10 or maybe at least...
It's including a massive fucking island, dude. It's including new enemies, new story, a fucking new map. $10 for that? Dude, Blood and Wine costed $30. Where are you whining about that? Why aren't you whining about fucking Blood and Wine? Like, come on.
He's spilling it out. I wish that this was mostly a free updates, like, hey, we've decided to fix the mouths that weren't synced up properly, and hey, if you spend $10 to upgrade it to PlayStation 5, now you get the haptic feedback. It's weird to me that you have to buy this bulk bundle. It's everything or it's nothing. You get all the expansions, all the islands, all of everything for this gigantic price tag, or you go in the garbage can. This is stupid to me, and I understand the anger about it. I've been looking around online, and already people are just seemingly kind of shocked. PS4 owners can upgrade the game, or you can just buy the game directly. Simple or something. Now, look at these replies. $20 to upgrade a game we already own. Hello. $30 to upgrade the game to PS5. What? This is...
Let's see. If you already own, a patch will be available with some... Let me look this up real quick. I just found an article. Give me a second. From The Verge. Where's The Verge? Fucking... Where the fuck is it? There we go. Let's just check this out real quick. If you already own Ghost of Tsushima, a patch will be available with some of the new updates when the director's cut is available. Current owners will also be able to bring their save over to the PS5 version. Okay, I didn't see that latter part, which is awesome, because I don't want to restart all over. I got so much shit in already, but a patch will be available with some of the updates when the director's cut is available, according to this guy. it's probably gonna include the lip sync and all that stuff Dreamcast guy is fucking whining about. Like, did he not do his research into this? I will need to look into what these some of new updates is, but it's very likely it's talking about part of the PS5 updates and stuff with the haptic feedback and stuff. That's probably what it's going to include, but I can't be too sure and make that statement definitive. But let's just continue and finish this off.
It's ridiculous. Sony completely botched this transition to PS5. How is it possible that the game's license and save data aren't unified like in virtually any...
Is he talking about, like, current owners will also be able to sing... Correct me if I'm wrong, but is he talking about, like, the saves from the PS4 version isn't going to be transferred over to the PS5, or... What?
Other ecosystem. What really kind of strikes me about this is that it puts a crossroads before you where you have to choose to either pay an exuberant cost for what may be a couple hours of content or to just...
Do you really think they're gonna only make it a couple hours of content? Like, if they make it a couple hours of content, oh my gosh, that will be so disappointing. But a $30 upgrade, massive new island, they have not let us down yet with all of this stuff. It's probably not gonna be fucking like 2 hours. I'm guessing it's probably gonna be at least around the 15-hour mark. That's what I'm guessing at least. But if it's not, then it's probably gonna be a ripoff. Let's be real. But it's probably not gonna be that. It's very unlikely that it'll just be 2 fucking hours. Like, I thought he wasn't a hater, but he's being pretty fucking pessimistic about this whole situation with the length and stuff and the price of this stuff and everything like that. Not gonna lie, kind of gives me hater vibes.
Skip this and never know the ending of Jin's story before Ghost of Tsushima 2 eventually comes out someday. It makes me think that this just sucks because I wish that this was a tinier price tag and that it kind of just respected the fans more, especially after how...
It does respect the fans, dude! They freaking released multiplayer for free! They didn't even include cosmetic microtransactions in the online multiplayer mode. They released all of it for free. All of the cosmetics are earned through gameplay and everything. It's not even fucking microtransactions. That stuff was for free, and you were praising it for at the time for it being free and everything. But when they finally inevitably have to charge for something, you throw a fucking fit about it. Like, come on, this is so ridiculous.
How much they've bragged about the sales numbers of Ghost of Tsushima. How much profit do you need? How much do you...
They've been keeping up these fucking servers for like the past year while making barely any income because inevitably like single player game sales end up dropping off eventually, since especially if it's like this, since you know not very many people will play it after like maybe 2 years or so. They had to come up with a way to make an income to keep up those servers and to pay for this upgrade. Like, oh my gosh, do these people not know how the real world works?
Do you need to make sure every fan is paying the most for every single bit of content? If this comes out and Iki Island is like 3 hours long, I mean, the internet is gonna burn down.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that. If it's like 3 hours long, oh my gosh, that will be so bad. But it is so unlikely that's the case that... Like, stop being so fucking pessimistic about it. This is, like, hater kind of mentality. Fucking being super pessimistic about everything. That's hater shit, not fan shit. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm a fan of this game and Sucker Punch in general.
It's going to be one of the most hated expansions of all time. But I guess we're going to see. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm buying it. I'm going to make a video about it. I want to talk about this new content. I want to see how good or bad it is. But for you... I'd probably pass for now.
I would not pass, personally. I have pretty decent expectations in this to be able to live up, right? And even if it's not gonna live up, right? If you're buying the game brand new without any kind of upgrade for $70, I would definitely recommend this game, even for $70, because... They already sold it for $60 on base console and without the online mode and everything, right? But you're definitely still getting bang for your buck at $70 with all of this stuff included, okay? Like, don't listen to these fucking super pro consumer kind of people, because they're like, I generally like this guy because he covers the news and everything, right? But the mentality behind these people, like, no microtransactions allowed, blah 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 blah, is so fucking entitled. It's like, do you guys not have like money or anything? And I mean that in the sense that, like, some of the stuff, most of these microtransactions these days are relatively, I would say, harmless. It's not like super predatory unless it's like EA sports games and shit, but most of the time it's relatively harmless, and these guys just find ways to constantly bitch about it. Like, come on. If people don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. But it looks like people do want to buy it because they keep putting this stuff in games. So obviously, it doesn't really look like your pro-consumer stance is exactly working. You're just catering to a niche, hardcore gamer type of audience. Most people are willing to buy these microtransactions, and that's completely fucking fine, as long as it's not super intrusive like Madden or FIFA or whatever. These kinds of things are completely fine as long as they're not super intrusive. That's my stance on it, at least. But apparently, no games should have microtransactions unless it's like a big old multiplayer game that definitely deserves microtransactions. Like, come on.
Wait for a price drop. Wait for this bundle to become a more affordable rate, because definitely it's gonna happen at some point. But what do you think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends.
I did not enjoy this video.
If you haven't already, but do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Hey, also additionally, go watch my previous video. I put up a video this morning talking about the fact that there's a new company that's just been purchased by Sony. It sounds like we're going to be seeing a lot of PlayStation exclusives coming to PC very, very soon.
Okay, that sounds cool, especially since I'm getting into PC a little bit. But anyways, I guess that will end the video here. But oh my gosh, dude, I fucking hate the mentality of these gamers, kind of pro-consumer advocates kind of people. It's so ridiculous. They think pretty much everything should be fucking free, honestly. Even if they say not everything should be free, like some games can have microtransactions, right? They say that, and then they turn around and bitch about microtransactions whenever they get the chance. Okay? Like, do not listen to these people on their microtransaction stances. Just in general, there's nothing really harmful about like cosmetic microtransactions. The things that these people constantly bitch about. So I don't really have much more to say on the matter. I'm going to go try and mod Fallout New Vegas since I just got that game. Anyways, that'll be it for this video. I just wanted to get this off. I just wanted to cover this. I know it's not usually something I cover because I usually talk about politics and stuff, but this is something I just wanted to make because these kinds of people just infuriate me, honestly. Anyways, I do not know really how to end videos still, so I'll just say this. POG out.